Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my very first episode of my podcast. My name is Heydi Hernandez. I'm 34 years old and I'm living my best life. I figured, what the fuck am I doing? I said I love to yap, and I really wanted to fucking just do something that would make me feel the cringiest, most scariest, most gut punch type thing out there, and this was it. So here I am. Um, just to start off, um, I I'm T minus 45 days out of getting out of the military, right? And I figured if I'm gonna go full force into my coaching business, I figured that do something that's fun for me on the side, right? And that's not to say that my spiritual coaching business is not fun, because it is fun. I love doing it. I love meeting new people. I love talking to new people. I love having clients and helping them with, whatever they come to me for. And I don't know. I think the podcast was just something for me to really be like, you know what? I'm a yap. I'm gonna go ahead and sit here and yap because free will, right? And well, just to completely introduce myself, my name is Heydi Hernandez. I'm 34 years old, and I have been in the military for 12 years. I'm getting ready to get out in, again, T minus 45 days. Um, I had a spiritual awakening back in 2020. A lot of things led up to it, to the final. I guess you can't say the final decision, but like a lot of the things that led up to fully realizing that the military was not going to be a 20-year thing for me was definitely all of the things that I experienced up until that point. And I don't know, I just yeah, I've been on it since, right? Um I am a divorced mother of one, well, two if you want to count this loaf over here. Um but yeah, I'm getting ready to transition. Well, I'm already in transition, but I'm transitioning into something that is going to be like a huge fucking change for me. I've never done this before. Um, Much like when I first joined back in 2012, right? It was a huge transition. I was going from no structure to a structure where everything was decided for me, basically. And now I'm getting out of that structure, and I'm learning to remember what it's like to be without that structure. So I'm making my own, right? And yeah, I've it's it's fucking wild, and um I'm based in University Place, Washington State. I went down to Top Pot this morning, get me a nice Beijing fog. I don't know if you guys can see that. But if you're in the Ruston Tacoma uh, Proctor area, totes recommend. They have great tea, and they also have really good coffee and amazing donuts. And I love going there for the donuts because ever since I was a kid, that pink box is something that was like a staple when I was growing up, right? Um, Aside from Friday night pizza night, but yeah, so just a couple of things. Like, I want to go ahead and let you know from the get-go, this podcast, I have not outlined anything. What I do know that I want to bring to this podcast is basically experiences, is insight on my own experiences, how I see the world, um, and and of course like a whole spiritual aspect to it, right? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't fucking know everything, but what I do know is that I love finding out. I love being curious. I love experiencing the world just as it is, um, because it gives me deeper insight into who I am, into who people are, why they do the things that they do, um, discovering just life, man, like life, right? Like how would you describe just living your life in this way where it's just like everything was done for you. You checked all the boxes, you did all the things, and then there's nothing else. There's nothing left. There's no curiosity. There's no um, discovery, like of life itself, of you as a human being. But yeah, there's just one of the things that I love to do here is just fucking yap, obviously, but um I want to go ahead and just let you know right now, viewer, you're fucking amazing. You're fucking beautiful. And I'm sharing all of this stuff because there's somebody out there who has felt the same, thought the same, knows the same, right? And is just looking for somebody who can reflect that, right? And hopefully, I'm not saying I will. I'm saying if I can be that for you, great. I love that. Fucking recommend it, pass it along. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Just always apply it to yourself and then think, well, if she thinks about it this way, how do I feel about that, right? Because everything is self-discovery. Every experience, every conversation that you have, every felt emotion is all for self-discovery, right? And just to begin with, um, what am I doing, right? it, it's 2026. We just got into 2026, and here I am starting a fucking random ass podcast, right? And I thought to myself when I was sitting here with my spirit guides and my higher self, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck do I think I am? Thinking that I'm gonna start a podcast and it's gonna fucking do something, right? And and then my guides were like, well, why not? Like, why not? And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. I love to yap. There aren't a whole lot of people that can um, yap the way that I do. Um, and I was like, who better to yap to if not myself, which I already do, right? And my spirit guides. Uh, but to somebody who's out there, just like obviously not that physically within reach, but I can at least like show up on your screen and then you're just gonna be like, holy shit, like I've thought the same thing. Like holy shit, like I wonder, like um what else this person thinks, or I wonder how other people think. It's just like it's always gonna do this thing where it's gonna trigger more thoughts, it's gonna trigger more questions, and that's always something that I love doing. Like I love talking to people and then opening up a little bit more of what they already have, expanding on what they already have, right? It's a beautiful thing. Connection, right? Connection, talking to people, just getting to know them, just fucking talking about experiences and what it's done to us and how it's changed the way that we exist. And um, yeah, I mean, of course, my stuff is a little more spiritual in that, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still very, very human, military background type of gal. Okay, like, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna be honest, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. Whatever, right? I'm not here to please everyone. I'm here to please myself. I'm here to express myself. I'm here to have fun while I'm doing it, and why now? Why now? Well, because again, why the fuck not, right? You see all these reels and videos about people talking about you have to have the audacity. You have to have the audacity. And I'm like, well, I did have the audacity. I did have the audacity to speak my mind, right? I did have the audacity to go all in on myself. I did have the audacity to fucking, like do fucking heavy ass shadow work, right? And I had the audacity to start my spiritual coaching business, right? Now I have the audacity to do this, to sit here and talk to you and be like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Because I'm 34 fucking years old and it's only going to get fucking better from here, right? So, um, it's just, it's, how do I explain this? It's like, it's a beautiful journey that I've been on so far. And I'm not going to say it was easy because it was not. There were parts where it was easy. There was parts where it was incredibly difficult. There was parts where I contemplated still being alive, right? And that's normal. That's part of being human. But I think that my absolute most favorite parts are the parts where I'm back in my body. My energy is grounded And I'm looking around and I'm saying to myself, fuck, I'm fucking human. I'm here on this couch with my blanket with Reggie, right? How how much better can this get, right? And I look at the trees, I look at the sky, I look at the leaves, I look at the grass, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Like, when you take those moments to yourself and you look around and you're just like, holy fuck, I made it here. Holy fuck, like, I'm in my own apartment. I'm living in Washington. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm stable. I'm divinely held and loved. I I love myself. I'm there are so many more things to accomplish, and really, like, want more. What more do I want, right? I'm in such a beautiful space right now where I have the audacity to do this. And um I think it's been a beautiful journey, like, and lots of people um who are in spirituality, or just people in general, right? Like, just people in general. So I don't want to start putting people into categories or whatever, but I think that it's it's not very common, right? Or if it's something that's not really spoken about, it's the experiences of the solidity in and groundedness that is you, that is your own energy, right? And how do you seek that, right? Like, how do you seek that peace and that solidity and that groundedness in your own being? You you stop. You have to stop. You have to stop your brain. You have to stop your physically. You got to sit there and take a moment to look at yourself and be like, I'm right here, right now. How do I feel about it? How do I feel about it? And then you go from there, right? You're either gonna feel upset, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna feel angry, and that's okay. Like, all of those things that come up, fucking amazing. Beautiful, beautiful things to experience, beautiful things to acknowledge, beautiful things to just be able to speak about. Because, again, this is the human experience, right? We're here to understand ourselves in a completely um, in-depth way that allows us to not just only submerge ourselves into what it is, the the um, the vast spectrum of emotions, energy and motion that we can experience as humans. Because it's like, why would I want to come to Earth and experience only two types of emotion? That's anger and pain. Like, why would I want to come here to experience only that, right? And sure, some lives choose that. Some lives choose that, and that's their own mission that they're choosing to have here on Earth. But, and I'm not saying that's bad, so don't be putting words in my mouth. But I'm just saying it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to realize, to acknowledge that us as human beings have just this huge, huge capacity to feel all different types of emotions, and we only skim the surface. We only skim the surface because of how society is, right? And how do you go deeper? You go deeper by taking that journey, those steps, right? Back inward, back into yourself. And I love doing that. I love fucking doing shadow work. Are you kidding me? Fucking, I say it all the time. Like, I love getting to know myself at a level that is like, that is unknown to other people, right? Because it's like this beautiful thing, this relationship that you have with yourself, right? And you can compare it to a romantic relationship or familial relationships that you have with, like, friends or family, or like, even your son, right? Or in this instance with Reggie. Nobody knows Reggie like I do, right? But I don't know Reggie like he knows Reggie, right? Nobody knows Heydi like I know Heydi. And that's the beauty of coming into this sort of, like, this relational connection with people. Is like, you get to be able to share the the little secret parts of you with other people, and that's where connection starts. It's like, oh, I like that you like blah blah blah. I'm gonna go ahead and share a little bit more. see what you think about it too. See if your mind travels the same way that mine travels. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to travel the same way that someone else's mind travels. The point is that you can travel together at the same time while still being different, right? While still being able to manage each other's differences. And like it's I don't know. The human experience is just fascinating thing for me. And uh yeah, like I just love it. I just absolutely fucking love it. Um so let's see. What what am I trying to gain by doing this? Honestly, I'm not trying to gain a whole lot. I'm really just trying to break through some of these um the shadows attached to the audacities, right? So the audacity to be seen, the audacity to be vulnerable, the audacity to speak about things that I haven't heard people talk about, right? Or that people just don't talk about. Um, I love to yap. I absolutely love to yap. And if one day I gain a co-host or I gain, you know, hosts along the way or this thing actually blows up or whatever, um, fucking great. The point is my sole mission behind this is, and this is completely different than my spiritual business, is I want to share with you my experiences, some of my thoughts, some of my opinions, because I know that it's going to resonate with someone else. And by doing that, not only do these people feel seen, they feel heard, they feel felt, they feel not alone, right? It helps me really understand myself also a little bit better through the feedback that I get from people, right? And I love sharing experiences that I have because they'll there'll be somebody who inboxes or somebody who comments and they're like, dude, like I just experienced this the other day, or thank you for, for fucking talking about that because it helped me realize something about myself and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude, like, fuck yeah. Who doesn't want to share their experiences? And then, even if you don't get told, but just know deep down in your soul and your heart that this made sense to someone else and it helped them along their journey. Maybe not right then in that moment, but maybe later it's going to click, right? And that's the purpose of this fucking this this thing that I'm doing, right? And do I expect it to go big? Who wouldn't want that, right? Who wouldn't want a podcast that they just started that they're so in love with, right? Because they're in love with themselves to go big. But really what I want, my winning lottery ticket is for people to write down in the comments below, like, thank you for writing about that. It helped me see something a little bit about myself, and it made me feel better, or it made me not feel so I don't know, judgmental about myself. It whatever it does. Even if you heard something that I said, right, and then you're just like, what the fuck is this whatever talking about, right? And I'm like, good. You know what? That's something right there. That's a trigger right there. Good for you, right? Later on it's gonna click, not right now. But yeah, so like why like there I was back and forth with this podcast for quite a bit, and then since I thought about it, I was like, I would love to have a co-host, like, and just to talk with somebody, right? Bounce ideas back and forth. And I love to talk. I'm a Gemini rising, um, Man Gen, human design. I don't know what my Myers Briggs is. I did that shit like years ago and I don't remember what it is. But my moon is in Scorpio, I think, and uh, I don't remember my other stuff, but whatever. I could put it down below in the thing. But anyways, I love talking to people. And of course, you're probably thinking like, oh, of course she's a Gemini. Of course she loves to yap. Of course she loves to talk to people. Duh. Like, what? Like, why roll your eyes about that? Like, who cares? Like, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to really embrace yourself and have these systems that help you develop um, a deeper understanding of yourself. But um, yeah, I mean, if you have any fucking questions you want to know or comments, whatever, put that shit down below and I'll fucking answer them on next week's fucking podcast episode. But um, so spiritual awakening, right? This podcast is definitely going to touch on a lot of things of spiritual awakening, psychology, politics a little bit, but really, really me. I am psychic intuitive, right? I have empathic abilities, a little bit of mediumship because I'm still developing that. Um, but I have this um, this deep love and curiosity for understanding the energetics of the world. Um, so what I can say about spiritual awakening, right? I had a huge transition in 2020 when I decided that I wanted to get a divorce, and I wanted to join this amazing unit. It's called SFAB. For um, those of you that are not familiar, it's a regular army unit, but it is considered like a broadening assignment, which just means it gives you a bigger, expansive idea and ability to obviously expand your job field in Security Forces Assistance Brigade. And I ended up PCSing from Fort Cavazos, formerly Fort Hood in Texas, from a regular BSB unit, from an FSC unit, up to this infantry unit, right? And that was like rough in itself, going from something that was absolutely consistent, absolutely predictable, into a unit that was standing up. And a lot of the people that I ended up coming uh, here with in January 2020, we had to help stand up the unit, right? We had to build some of the procedures. We had to help build the policies. We had to help build um, some of the regulations that came down from SFAC and stuff like that. And like that was when we were beginning to fill slots for teams and things like that. And it was already rough because I had left my son in Fort Hood because I did not have enough time to try to get him into daycare. I had already decided I wanted a divorce, and here I am standing up something completely new. Just um and it was rough, man. It was another transition that I was having a hard time with, trying to figure myself out in the process. Um, and it really, really helped me, right, figure out what it was that I was doing, how I wanted to do it, and whether it was something that I was gonna stay or stick with. And 6 years later, I'm still in SFAB. I extended multiple times because um, SFAB has a sort of like, and not to get too much into this army unit thing and the processes and the things that have happened with it, but it's now starting to slow down and the mission is sort of changing, right? Due to political stuff that's going on in the world. But I was in this unit 6 years now and I'm getting ready to leave it. Excuse me. And when I first got here, it was rough, man. Like it was hard. But then, I ended up going somewhere. I went to Thailand and ended up having a sort of like near death experience again, and that was not the first time I've had near death experiences before. But this one allowed me to really hone in, right? Hone in and unlock some of these spiritual, which are natural by the way, capabilities that my body has, right? So that is obviously being psychic, using the clairs, right? Um, Opening up my mediumship and just being able to exist with these abilities, right? I remember one night I was laying in a hotel room in Bangkok. I had just gotten out of the hospital, probably hours prior, and I was trying to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing whispers, like whispers, and this was spirit, right? Spirit trying to keep me awake, trying to send me a message. Had no idea that's what it was, right? And at the time, I wasn't really into spirituality as much as I am into it now. It was more of like an experience where I was like, is this a dead person trying to talk to me, right? Because that's how you see it in the movies, that's how it's portrayed in the movies, so that's what I thought it was. But I was laying there, and my guides at the time, they were telling me like, oh, like, just understand that this is what's gonna happen, right? And then they showed me this image of this woman, this beautiful white blonde haired woman, and I was just like, what the heck? Like, why are they showing me this woman? I don't know who that is. And I straight up I asked them, I'm laying there in bed, I'm just like, okay, I see what you're showing me, but who is that? And I didn't know in that moment that she was gonna be the person that I went to discover myself in a way that I was just like, right? And who she is, this is Sam. She's a psychic that I first initially started working with, and she still runs her thing now. If you guys are interested in looking her up, it's Spirituality with Sam. Amazing psychic, taught me so much about psychic abilities and knowledge of the unseen and all kinds of really cool stuff, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I don't know what you're doing showing me this, right? And then not even that much later, I'm doom scrolling, right? Her video pops up, and I looked at her and I was like, no way. I was like, no way you guys are showing me this, right? And it just hit me. I was just like, she's who I need to talk to. I need to get in touch with her now. And then from then on, it's just been fucking business, right? Like I've I've gone face first, fucking full force into discovering who I am, why I function the way that I function, what happened from birth until now to make me who I am today, right? While also simultaneously acknowledging ancestral lineage trauma, while also acknowledging past lives, while also acknowledging what it is that my soul came here to do this life and how to keep myself on that path. And everyone is going to have a soul's purpose. Everyone's going to have a soul's purpose. I don't care who you are, what you've said, your soul has a purpose, right? There's a collective purpose as well. And whatever that is, whatever that is, always trust that you will be guided back in the direction of that purpose. If you feel like even for a moment that you're off path and you're already questioning, am I supposed to be here right now? Ask for that guidance. Talk to God, Spirit, Source, whatever you want to call it. Talk to your guides. Talk to your higher self, which is your higher soul. Talk to your ancestors. Talk to whoever it is that you think exists out there and say, hey, I don't think I'm supposed to be here right now. Can you help me out? Can you show me the way? And then trust that you are heard, and then let go so that the path can open for you. Because if you're trying to control, right, there are some things that you can control and there's other things that you can't. But just let yourself let go of whatever thoughts that you think that you need to have or where you're supposed to be or whatever. And then you'll be guided, right? Because if you think you're supposed to be somewhere, unless you knew from the moment that you were born, right? Or from wherever, you got a clear vision of what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this life. If you are on the path of discovering that, you're going to have to be open to all of the things that are coming in, right? Because it might change. For one day you might think, you know what, I want to go be a nun. I want to go be a nun. And then, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks later, a month later, 3 months later, you realize, what? I didn't actually want to be a nun. What I actually wanted to do was get in touch with something that was holy, that was divine in my eyes, right? And what that is really is just getting in touch with your own essence, getting in touch with your own divinity. And then you realize, you know what, I actually didn't want to be a nun. I actually just wanted to get in touch with my divine essence, right? And then you ended up gearing towards, I don't know, doing yoga. You want to become a yoga instructor. And, you know, things will work out from there, right? And sure, it's a big jump from nun to fucking yoga instructor. But you never know how that's gonna fucking happen. You gotta let go of the thoughts and the ideas and the projections and the expectations of how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to feel. You gotta let all that shit go, because it's gonna fucking happen how it's gonna happen, right? And you just gotta always be open to the change, always be open to the expansion, always be open to the guidance. And I tell people this all the time in my oracle readings, like, I can tell you what's happening right now with the energy as of right now. And I can maybe give you 5 steps ahead. But just understand that when you take that second step and you decide to make a different choice, that 5th step ain't going to be the same anymore. It's going to be something different. And then guess what? You might change it at the 2nd step. You might end up changing it again at the 3rd step. And the 4th and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. But understand, change is constant. Okay? Expansion is constant. And you got to give yourself that opening. You got to give yourself that space. You have to allow yourself, give yourself the permission to expand and discover things that are not just with the here and now, right? Sure, it's important to be in the here and now, but in the aspect of, I'm right here, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm grounded, I don't feel anxious, I don't feel like I'm in fight or flight, I don't feel like I need to go do a million things right now. I'm right here, I'm right now, I'm breathing, I'm present with myself. I feel at peace, right? Excuse me. You gotta give yourself that space, man, because you're an incredible, incredible human being, absolutely wonderful. And here's the thing that I love to always go back to when it comes to my spiritual business and when I coach people is listen, you are a beautiful, amazing, powerful human being. You just don't remember right now. But that's okay, because I'm here to remind you. How am I going to remind you? Man, look, I'm here to ask you questions that's going to make you be like, you know what? Why was I holding on to that projection? Why was I thinking that? Why is that my limiting belief? I don't want that shit no more. So you let that shit go and then you remember, you know what? I am fucking powerful. I am fucking beautiful. I am fucking smart. And that's how you remember. Because basically what it is that you forget. You forget because you listen to all these people outside of you talking to you, talking at you, sending all these weird energy, right? And your energy field's gonna grab onto it. It's gonna absorb it. And then sometimes we do this. We put it in our heart. We put it in our minds. We put it in our fucking throats, right? So then we're out here speaking things that aren't ours, thinking things that aren't ours, feeling things that aren't ours. And we gotta stop doing that. You're always gonna need somebody who's gonna hit that reset button. It's gonna be like, nah, fam, last week you said this was cool. Today you're saying it's lame. What happened between then and now? Is this really you? Is this how you really feel? Or was that how you felt, but you heard somebody say something different along the way, and now you're over here thinking it's like this, right? So what is your actual original thought? What's your OG intent? I'm gonna call it that. OG intent. Think about your OG intent, right? Your original intent for your life. Your OG intent for breathing. Your OG intent for the way that you speak. Your OG intent for the way that you dress, the way that you conduct yourself, the way that you think about the world, right? And I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to sit here and look at Reggie and be like, damn, dude, I had you for 6 years. Reggie, you ain't changed no bit. But he has. He's changed so much because I have changed. And you gotta allow yourself that room to grow, to heal, to let go of the shit that you don't need. But But yeah, that's my 2 cents on spiritual awakening. And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now, awakening is not. I can't even say that it's for the weak. And so many people say that like it's not for the weak because you're not weak for wanting to grow. You're not weak for not wanting to grow. You just are what you are, and that's it. I think that the OG intent for wanting to grow and quote unquote be better or be a better version of yourself, or you want to change the way that you view the world and feel the world is is um is important, right? Like you came here to discover yourself at the depths that you don't remember. And you're going to remember that slowly by having these experiences, by trying again, by being willing. Um, so yeah, let's see. What else? What else can I talk about today? I don't know. I think actually that's good. I feel like I've yapped a whole lot. Take a sip of my tea. Cheers for everybody who's also drinking coffee, tea, water, whatever it is you got. Just know that with every episode, you're gonna need to come with some. Okay? If you don't want to drink nothing, that's fine. If you're doing something else while you're listening to me, love it. But drink some water. Drink some water. Drink your favorite drink. You know, get yourself back into the now. Let me just say that shit is fucking fire. It's good. But yeah, if you have any fucking questions or anything that you want to address or you're curious about or whatever, put it down in the comments below and I'll talk about it next week. But welcome to the very first episode of Yapping with Heydi. That's what I'm gonna call it, Yapping with Heydi, because that's what we do. We yapping. And I just want to say thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching all the way through. If you watched all the way through, if you didn't, that's fine too. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, whatever the fuck you want to do with this video, do it, right? But first and foremost, and above all, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for existing. Thank you for, yeah, just fucking existing, man. If you're doing the work, thank you for doing the work. If you're not doing the work, but you're thinking about it and you're hesitant, thank you for thinking about it and being hesitant, because that just means you're already on your way. And if you're somebody who doesn't even think about doing the work, hey, thank you for being somebody who doesn't do the work. Cosmic balance, right? We need the good and the bad, the ugly and the pretty, the duality, man. Cosmic balance. But thank you for being here. I love you guys. And again, if you have any questions or anything, just put it down in the fucking comments and I'll fucking talk about it next episode. But I love you guys. See you guys next fucking week. And yeah, take care. Smile. And if you don't want to smile, fucking cry about it too. Cry and then put your hand on your chest and say, thank you to me. I love me. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.